Hello everyone, welcome back on our Python journey. Today is day 12 and we'll be discussing Python sets. Sets in Python. So before we start discussing sets, I would like to apologize for not posting any videos in the past 3 days. And was due to some circumstances that were beyond my control. And the next time I miss to post a video, I'll just write a blog post and then explain it in the following video to account for those days that I will be missing. I know this won't be the first time that this will happen, but I just want to make it right. So thanks. Now, today's video is on sets, and I'll be explaining what sets are in Python. So sets are basically a programming construct, or let's say a data structure in Python that allows us to, filter out unique elements out of a particular collection. Now, this collection can be, things from, things like strings, lists, and then tuples. Basically, any kind of data type that you can index, at least most of them. So, let's take a look at how we can create sets. And what you see on this screen here is the topics that I'll be discussing in this video. So I will not be reading them. Let me just try and save time. I'm looking at the time now, so let's jump right into it. So this is how you create sets. I will put in create a new variable called my set, and then there's a built-in function in Python that allows us to create sets right out of the box. So just put set and then call the function. Now after calling the function, you need to pass it the iterables or the collection that you want to transform into a set. So, and if this collection has duplicates, set will basically take the unique ones and then return a set of the unique elements in that particular collection. So I'll use a list in this example. I'll put 1, 2, 3, 1, then 3, then 2, then 4, then 6. Let me just leave it that way. So let's take a look at the answer here. I'll just print my set in the terminal. Just run this program. Now you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. This is the first way you can create a set. The second way to create a set is to basically, so this here is the structure of a set. You have comma separated elements inside a curly brace like this. Two curly braces, whatever you can call it. So let me put another set here. I'll create another set with the second method. The second method is to basically use the curly braces and pass in the collection of items that you want to transform into a set. I will just put 1, 2, 3, just copy the value of this list here. And then I'll print set 2 in the terminal. So now when we run this program, you can see the answer is just the same as the first, which is really nice. So sets can be really helpful to help us, filter out the duplicates in a particular collection, basically. And sets are mutable, so you can mutate them. You can change the values in a set by using built-in functions. So to check the available built-in functions that are built into Python for sets, you just need to come here. So let me put my set again. Sorry, let me put dir. So we print dir and then put the name of our variable here. So this will basically just check the data type and then print out all the available method for this particular data type. And it is sets that we are looking at. So let's run this. I can see all of when you run this yourself in your code editor, you get all this method here. Now you can see there are a lot of them. So there's this add one here. So let's take a look at what. So there are a lot of them, and this is how you get good at using built-in method. When you see a built-in method after running the dir, you can just check what it does by printing help for that particular. So help my set dot, then let me say add like this. Now don't call the function, just leave it like that. And then when you run this, let me remove this one here so that we will be able to see very well. My set, and then let me bring this here. Soft wrap this. Okay. So I have the definition here. This basically, doc string that was written into the function, the add function. So this add function, add an element to a set. This has no effect if the element is already present, and it returns none basically. So the same value for that set will be returned. So let me just put it like this. I'll say my set, then dot add. Let me add 3 because 3 is already there. There will be no effect. So let me add 10, and then let me print my set again. Print my set like this, and then just run it. Now you can see we have 10 at the end, which is fantastic. So that's really nice. We just took a look at what sets are, and then the different built-in methods that are available for sets. Built-in methods that are available for sets. So the next thing to take a look at is we know that the characteristics of sets are just basically returning unique elements. Then they are you can mutate the values in a set by just using a built-in method like we did here. We added 10 to the set that we have here. Sorry, something is in my throat. All right, so we can also have make some operations on sets like we did. Now we can also remove. Now the removal is one of the important ones that I want to touch on. So to remove an item from a list, from a set, you can do that in 2 different ways, and these 2 different ways have some differences. So is a subtle difference between the 2. So let me just put it this way. I'll say I want to remove so this set will basically contain 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 6. So what I'll do here is I'll say remove my set 2 dot remove the item. I want to remove 4. So when the next time we print this set 2 here, we will not see 4 in this set. Let's run this. Now you can see 4 no longer exists in this list, but in the sets. I keep saying lists. 4 no longer exists in this set, which is really nice. So if we use discard, the same thing will happen. Let me just discard it quickly. Before I even do that, let me print the before and after so that you see the difference. Now this is the before. So before, the list will have 4 in it. The set will have 4, but after removing or using the discard method, 4 will no longer exist. Now, if we pass in an item that does, that is not in this If we pass in an item that is not part of the set, and try to discard it, nothing will happen. The set will basically return the same. But if you use the remove method, it will give you an error. Boom. See, there's an error here, which is really nice. So that's the difference between the remove and discard, and those are the two ways you can remove and discard an item from a list. I mean, you can remove an item from a list. I think it's better that way. All right, let me put it here and comment it out. Nice. So the next thing we're going to talk about is checking if an item is part of a set. All right, so I'll just remove this here. I'll use these values here. So to do that, this operation will return you a Boolean value, right? So it's going to be either true or false. So let's see that. So you just do 7 in set 2. Right. So in set 2, we can see that we just have 3, 4, 5, 6. But if we run this function now, this is giving us, oh, there's an error here. So let me comment that one out. Now you can see it's false because 7 is not in set 2. But if we print 3, Christ 3, and this will give us true, which is really nice. That's how you check if an item is part of a set. So advanced operations. So you can use intersection, you can make intersection, union, and differences in lists. I mean in sets, sorry, with sets. So this would require you to use 2 different sets, which was why I created these 2 sets here. So you can just say print set 1 dot intersection set 2. So intersection is basically what they have in common, right? So where they overlap when you put the 2 sets together. So let's just run this, and now you can see we have 3 and 4 because there's 3 here, there's 3 there, there's 4, and there's 4 here, which is really nice. All right, let's take a look at the second one, which is what? Union. Now there are 2 ways you can write the union function. So I'll just do one here. Set 2 dot union set 1 like this, or you can also, let me print this first. Now you can see you have these values here. So union is to just gather all the 2 together and then remove the duplicate out of it. So I will do it in this, a second way to write the union. So I put set 2, then you just use the the bar, this line here, and then put set 1 here like this. I'll comment this out and move it to the bottom like this, and then run this function. Now you can see the 2 have been merged and then the duplicates were removed. So there's something called difference. So if you do minus like this, it will give you the difference between the 2, which is 5 and 6, because there is 5 here, there's no 5 there, there's 6 here, there's no 6 there, which is nice. Why is there? Okay, so this will give you the difference between set 1, the difference in set 2 from set 1, which is, so if you put this one here, this will give you 1. Yes, that will be 1 and 2, sorry, 1 and 2, which is, yeah, correct. So there's also a difference function. You can just, run the Python dir method on a particular data type and get all the methods that are available for that data structure. But in this case, we are talking about sets. So yeah, and then use the help to learn what that particular method does. Nice, isn't it? All right, so comparison. Now comparison is not comparison. That's why I left it in quotes. The comparison is basically it's called a symmetric symmetric. I don't hold these things in my head, so you don't need to memorize anything. It's called symmetric difference. Let me try it on this one now. What this will give you is a very interesting print set1 set2 dot symmetric difference set1. So let's take a look at the answer. When you run this, now you can see, first of all, the difference here was let me leave this one here. I'll put set2 and then set1 here like this, and then I'll also run the the other one, set2 dot difference, I think difference here, set1 like this. So let's run this. Now these two will be the same, but there will be difference from this one here. Now you can see what this does. The symmetric difference basically gives you the difference when you are finding the difference between set 1 and 2, and then also combined with the difference between set 2 and set 1, which is why you see this thing here. So if we change this to, since this is giving us the same thing, let's just put set 1 here and then set 2 here like this. So when you run the function now, you will see here. So it's basically giving you the differences between set 1 and 2, and then set 2 and 1, and combine them together to give you 1. That's what the symmetric difference does, which is really nice. I don't know why I said that a lot. So yeah, it's really nice. So we've seen how to find methods on sets. Just dir, all the methods will come out. Now let's solve a set comprehension problem. Now set comprehension is basically using sets to make an operation. Let me just put it that way. So after solving this question, you know what set comprehension is. So it says create a set using a set comprehension. The set should contain the squares of all numbers from 1 to 10. Squares is basically the number multiplied by itself, right? So let me come back here and solve this one. I'll just remove this here, and then we'll use set 1 to solve this question. So we are making list comprehension. So I'll just put comp like this, and then so to do that is simple. Just put the list symbol, and then what the operation asks you to find is the square. In our case here, the square of each element. So do x times x. So x times x, and then run a for loop on the range of elements that you were asked to, find the squares of each element. So for x in range, so we want every element from 1 up to 10, or did I say from 1 to 10? So that means included there. So we'll stop at 11, right? Then if you print sorry, if you print the comprehension variable, so let's run this. Now you can see we have the squares of each element here. 64 will be 6 times 6 times 6, is it? No, 6 times 6 is 36. What am I saying? Oh my god. I forgotten my multiplication table. 6 times 6 is 36, sorry. So 100 is 10 times 10, and then 9 is 3 times 3. 4 is 16, because 4 times 4 is 16. 49 is 7, and so on, which is nice. 81 is 9. 25 is 5. Yeah, and then, 64 is what's 64? How many did I ever talk about now? 64 is 8. Yeah, 64 is 8. 8 squared is 64. I remember. All right. So that's it. Basically, for list comprehension. It's just to make run a for loop on each of the elements in a particular region, then just return the result in a list. Nice, isn't it? That's nice. All right. So we've solved this problem. You see, there's another one here. So you can use sets with other data structures, like we saw in the beginning. You can just transform a list to a set, a tuple to a set, and then you can also convert convert a list. Let's take a look at this problem. Convert a list with duplicate element into a set to, resolve the duplicate, then convert it back to a list. Convert a tuple to a set. Try adding a tuple to a set as an element. Okay, so that will be simple. So what we'll do here is I'll just comment this one out again and then push this to the bottom. So we want to convert a list to a list with duplicates. So I'll copy this one here and just add some duplicate to it. I'll call this list 1 and set it to equal to a list of these numbers, and then just duplicate a few of them. Now I'll turn this to a set to remove the duplicate. I'll call this so let me just do it away. So the question is asking us to convert it to a set to remove the duplicate and convert it back to a list. So I'll just put lists, just say no duplicates like this, no dupe, and then set it to equal to set. So list, first of all, what's a list? We'll call the list function on a set like this, set list 1. Now this will give us a list without duplicates. So I'll put list 1 here. Oh, no duplicates, sorry. No duplicates. Like this. Let's run this function. Now you can see we have a list without the duplicates in it, which is really nice. Very fantastic. Mwah. So okay, the question is also asking us to convert a tuple. So let me do that one. And it says we should add an item to the tuple. So I'll put tuple here and create a tuple of 1, 2, and then 3 like this. Convert it to a list and then add to a set, and then add an item to the set. So this is what I'll do. I'll say new value. Now new value will be equal to set, then pass in the tuple, so tuple like this, and then say new value dot add. Want to add 4 to the tuple. So when we print new value now, the value will be 1, 2, 3, and 4 in a set. Thank you. All right. So you can also write a program that extracts distinct words from a test using sets. Now, this is an interesting one. I've tried it, but I want you to do it on your own. And in the next video, I will start with explaining what the mistake you would have made using sets straight away on, on words like group of strings, right? Anyways, just try it out and see the result you have. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.